Welcome to the fifth video in the PAA 10 stool building series. In this video, we'll be routering the legs and then drilling some holes before finally assembling the stool base. So grab your set of plans and let's get started. We're going to be using a roundover bit in the router to create a nice profile on the legs. The routing will only happen on the outside of the leg, so make sure to mark each side with an X. Then place the leg with the X face down on the router table. Turn on the router and using the paddles, carefully move the wood against the router bit. Keep pressure along the top bearing and always move from right to left. When you complete the cut, rotate the piece 180 degrees and move it back to the right-hand side to make your next cut. Repeat the cut the exact same way. If you miss a small portion, that's fine. Just run the piece through again the same way. Repeat the process for the other three legs and clean up the routered edge with a palm sander and then a little bit of hand sanding just to get a smooth finish. You'll need to find a countersink drill bit over at the parts counter. It looks like this. Secure it in the drill press before moving on to the next step. On the outside of one of the legs, measure down 3/8 of an inch and make a line straight across. Then from the outside, measure in 1/2 of an inch on either side and draw an X. After marking all your legs, use a center punch or an awl to mark exactly where the holes will be drilled. Back at the drill press, drill out each hole with the countersink bit. The goal here is to drill deep enough to create a space for the screw and a wood plug. Make sure the piece is held securely to the table. After drilling all the top holes, it's time to start assembling the stool base. Secure your top brace to the edge of a table using a clamp. Make sure the angles are going up and out so you can attach the leg. We'll be assembling the stool base upside down. Add a small bead of glue and then secure with one screw. Have a partner close by to help hold the material in place. It makes it a lot easier. After you screw in your first screw, ensure the leg is perfectly vertical before adding the second screw. Be careful not to over-tighten your screw or you could risk splitting the wood. And I wouldn't recommend using an impact driver for this. There's just too much power and you could easily split the top of your leg. Make sure to clean up any glue and then repeat for the other three legs. With the stool upside down, grab the bottom brace and gently slide it into place until the angles line up nicely on all four legs. Try and keep it as level as possible. Now with a tape measure, measure the distance from the top of the leg to the top edge of the bottom brace. It may be slightly different for each stool. In this case, it was 4 inches. Now, make a mark on the front of the leg at that distance and then move down 1/2 of an inch and make a second mark. From there, measure down 1 inch and make a third mark. Repeat that step for the other three legs. Once that's done, go in and mark the bottom marks with an X centered by I. Once you've done that for all 4 legs, you can head over to the drill press one more time. At the drill press, place the base on the table so one leg is facing up. Using the same countersink drill bit, drill out the 2 holes to the same depth as the previous step. Go ahead and do this for each leg. Just make sure to hold the legs securely against the table. And now you can slide the bottom brace back into place and align it with the marks on the legs. No need for glue here, just center the brace on the leg and attach with 1 1/4" wood screws. Again, be careful not to over tighten the screws. Work your way around the stool, securing each leg with 1 screw, and then go back and secure the other screws. Use the clutch on the drill to ensure you don't over tighten the screws. When all the screws are secured, step back and admire your work. We're in the home stretch now. The base is now assembled, and with a few more steps, you'll have the stool complete. Be sure to put your name on the stool base and then find a safe space for it in the storage room. That's it for this step. Please check back here for the next video in the stool building series.